From LA Late News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings, LA Late.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with huge news and especially breaking news about two of your stimulus checks. Check E and that lifetime of stimulus checks. Well, the breaking news on both of them happening just minutes ago. And I'm excited you're here as the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and massive force stimulus is available. In this recording, we'll go over the latest breaking news on those FSCs. Federal stimulus checks that yield about $300,000, and 300 checks for you. I'll show you how to get those incredible checks, and welcome to brand new members of this channel who joined overnight who are now getting ready to pounce and get all those incredible checks. Stay the big second half as we go over all these incredible FSC checks. Next up, inflation stimulus checks, inflation relief stimulus checks. We'll go over the latest details on how you get those. And then we have breaking news. It's brand new in the last few minutes about your lifetime stimulus checks. And for the first time ever on this channel, you're going to hear 4 brand new great news elements about your raise of your benefits. Plus, we'll be jumping into the breaking news that's impacting your economy, your wallet today. Jamie Dimon, one of the most beloved and smartest guys on Wall Street, the head of JP Morgan Chase, gave us new data about bank liquidity, about the debts of businesses like the ones you may be working for, your son or daughter, and what's going to happen in this recession. We'll go over the situation of the bank liquidity. Will there be a potential stability or instability of banks? Then we'll go over to companies and whether they're too indebted and are in trouble with the raising rates of J. Powell. Plus, we'll be looking at the latest details on what that reflects in the economy and the companies reporting corporate earnings. That's coming up in today's recording. Plus, we'll be looking at what to expect this week, and I'll have brand new guidance on where I think this economy is going. It's a big show with a lot of brand new breaking news, and stay in the big second half as we go over all these incredible sums of money. Plus, get ready for a preview of what's coming up also this week on this channel. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing as a delicious Mornings LA gets underway and kicks up its feet on a brand new day starting right now. And good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's a big weekend, a lot of major breaking details right this moment. We'll go over everything you need to know on where this economy is, where it's going. The week is upon us, and the breaking news coming in just minutes ago about 2 stimulus items. It's brand new, the latest and everything you need to know. Yes, plus we'll be jumping into that big money, and you're going to stay the big second half, and also the details on that benefit raises. What a day it is. But first, we start, of course, with the major news, and that is 2 stimulus items got updates just minutes ago. Check E, huge updates on that $7,500 FSC. It got a major update minutes ago. Stuff we never knew about that check E. I have that in the big second half. Then your lifetime stimulus checks, LSC, it has a major update. It happened just minutes ago. And that's coming up in just a second. Wow, what a great day it is. But let's go right into the breaking news starting right now. Jamie Dimon, head of JP Morgan Chase, one of the most beloved and smartest guys on Wall Street, a guy I was very critical of earlier this year because I said there was going to be a recession and he would not say the word, gave us great new data today. The great new data today answers a series of questions which are very important for you to know the answers for going forward. Number 1, are banks financially stable if this economy really tanks? Are banks going to go under, or are banks going to be stable? The answers, they're going to be stable. Why? A particular piece of legislation, if you're on the live chat right now and you've been watching this channel, jump in the live chat if you know the answer. This is an answer you want to know because people will be asking this question to you over the next 2 years. Jamie Dimon says that banks are very stable, extraordinarily strong is the quote, and that they will have liquidity, and that you should not worry about banks going under. Oh boy, they did go under several years ago. You woke up one morning and banks were gone. That's not going to happen anymore. Why? A piece of legislation. Did you write in the live chat? Here's the answer. The 2008 financial crisis legislation, the savings and loan debacle. In 2008, a financial crisis hit the U.S. economy. They passed a series of legislation so that banks never put themselves in that type of position again, and that your money will never disappear like that ever again. There's a series of major banks in 2008. You woke up and suddenly they're gone, and people were worried their money would disappear. That's never going to happen again. Great news from Jamie Dimon. Number two, Jamie Dimon gives us new insight today about businesses, corporations, businesses your son and daughter may work at. Maybe you work at them. You don't know how much debt that major corporation has or doesn't have. And that debt could throw that company into bankruptcy. So Jamie Dimon answers the question today. He says he does see companies that have too much debt and that they will be in trouble as Jay Powell raises rates. But here's the great news. It's not systematic and it's not pervasive. Let's explain what he means. First, it's not all the businesses in the same industry. That's great news for you. So let's choose an industry. Industry A. Not every business in that same industry has too much debt that they're going to go under. So if you have a job in a business, don't worry if that business goes under, because there's likely going to be another job in another business in the same industry down the street. They won't have the same debt levels, according to Jamie Dimon. Number two, it's not systematic or pervasive, so it's not become like a part of culture that they all have the same amount of debt. That's not happening. And number three, one of the most important things I want to make clear to you, because I haven't said it before, it's not geographic. So do not think that the businesses in Kentucky are all this, or the businesses in North Carolina will have too much of that. No, Jamie Dimon makes it very clear. It's not geographic the same. It's not industry the same. It's not territorial the same. It's just sporadic. Now, here's why this makes it important for you and I to watch this channel. Because he says you cannot really predict it out. Oh, wow. So the financial cliff in front of us may be in front of some of us and not in front of some other people. You don't know which of these businesses are going to go under because it's not that pervasive and systematic and normalized. It's not the same thing everywhere else, all across the board. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of shockers, and we're not going to know which the shocker is until it happens. Now, we had a series of corporations that come in with earnings on Friday, more reporting earnings this week. It's third quarter earnings. And here is an example that manifests exactly what we just said and what we just went over. Banks. Banks reported corporate earnings on Friday, and some beat and some missed. Here we go. Jamie Dimon's company, they beat. Look at this. They came in 34% up on third quarter earnings. Their earnings went up 34% in one quarter. Congratulations, Jamie Dimon. Now here, let's jump over to Morgan Stanley. They missed, so the stock was down 4.6% in pre-market trading. Citigroup beat, up 1%. Wells Fargo beat, up 3% in pre-market trading. Now, here's a question for you. Jump in the live chat, answer the question. I'll be back with you with the answer in just a second. Which industry is the industry that's really going to beat on all those earnings third quarter coming in this week and all the earnings you're experiencing right now for fourth quarter? Which industry is doing the best in the U.S. economy? Jump in the live chat. I think you know the answer for this. I'll have the answer for you in just a second. Now let's go over to another industry. Consumer staples, Beyond Meat, the plant-based company, losing their shirts. The company had to lay off 19% of its workforce on Friday. The stock was down 7% in pre-market trading. Yeah, so that's an example of just industries falling apart. Then we had United Healthcare up 1%. Tesla, the auto manufacturer, down a whopping 6% with a massive downgrade by Wells Fargo. So which industry is looking the best right now? If you wrote in the live chat, travel and leisure, you got it right. Travel and leisure, the hotels and the airlines, only the hotels and the airlines. Stocks are way up, and they're going to continue to be up because people are traveling. Delta had those major beats across the board in those numbers this week as well. So there you go. Now, This, my friends, is why you have to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. You need to get those four stimulus checks in every U.S. state. And let's go over those incredible checks right now. First, we have FSCs, federal stimulus checks. These are from the Congress, from the President of the United States, $300,000 and 300 checks. We're going to go over those in the big second half. Promise me this, you'll stay in the big second half. And you go into this video and join the channel. Welcome to the brand new members who join this channel. Next up, inflation stimulus checks, inflation relief stimulus checks. These are from the states. They're coming up in just a second as well. Stay in the big second half. Then we have a lifetime stimulus checks. We're going to go over detail of them in just a second. These are the raise your benefits because once they go up, they never go down. What are you watching? You're watching LALATE, the #3 most watched financial news channel in America, launched in spring of 2020, captivating a nation, the fastest and one of the most successful brand new YouTube channels with nearly 170 million views in 2 years. But the channel has gotten people $50 million. The news covered on this channel, some of it you're not going to see anywhere else. That's why this channel wins. Welcome to the brand new members who joined this channel in the last few hours. You want to join as well. Become a member and get all those incredible sums of money. If you joined this channel because you watched a YouTube short, thank you. Those YouTube shorts have been very engaging. One of them, brand new overnight, talked about 3 steps for you in this economy. Number 1, make sure you know where the economy is on a regular basis, on a regular daily basis, because it's changing regularly. Number 2, get as much money as you can, your stimulus. Increase your stimulus in the bank account while reducing your spending. And number 3, reduce your debt levels and especially get rid of anything variable in that debt, like car loans or credit card debt. Switch to the fixed because J Powell's raising those rates. Now, let's jump into those lifetime stimulus checks because once your benefits go up, they never go down. We have major news on that right now. And one of the things that's very exciting is something happened minutes ago. Yes, minutes ago. Social Security Administration sent out emails just minutes ago to individuals indicating what's going on. What did the email say? The email said that your benefits are going up 8.7%. You know that because you've been watching this channel. 8.7%. Then the email also says you can now go to the Social Security's website, sign into your account, and learn exactly how much your benefits are going to go up. Wow, great news. You just don't have to. You can watch this channel. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? Of course it sounds familiar. It's the LA worksheets. Those LA worksheets have been doing this since March. In the LA worksheets, I have a page for you to show you how to run and calculate how much your benefits go up. And now the Social Security Administration website says sign in and you can learn about it on the website. No, you've already been a member. You've already learned that on this channel. Now in the big second half, I'll show you how you can actually do this just having your morning cup of coffee, your bacon and eggs, how you can just come up with this number in your mind, how much your benefits are going to go up without signing into a website. It's that easy. I'm going to teach you how to do it in just a second. But let's go back into that breaking news from Jamie Dimon. The breaking news from Jamie Dimon is that there is parts of this economy that are going to be very, very choppy, and that choppiness of the economy is going to be hard to see before it happens, because it's not going to be pervasive and not going to be systematic. Now, for the first time on this channel, I'm going to give you a series of brand new predictions today. You're going to see them over afternoons and evenings today, and those brand new predictions start right now. The 2-year bond has surged dramatically to a 4%. Where do I predict that bond to go? 5%. The 30-year fixed mortgage, which is what people use to buy a home, it impacts the housing industry. It surged from 3% to 6%. Where am I predicting it to go to? 7%. This is all by December. And number 4, where do I believe the stock market to go by the end of the year? Down another 20%. It's so important to understand these predictions because you need to gauge yourself accordingly based upon the events that are happening. And this, my friends, is why you want to get a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Let's jump into those incredible stimulus with those FSCs right now. Let's understand where they came from. What are these FSCs? How do they start? Why do they happen? How do you get them? How are viewers of this channel cleaning up and getting $300,000? Let's look at those incredible FSC checks. starting right now. The first three checks were passed by the President of the United States back in the month of March, and they were huge. They are checks A, B, and C, and they're still happening. FSC checks start with A, B, and C. Passed by the way came checks for inflation-related stimulus, ISCs. And those checks are also really incredible. How do you get those? Those are in the big second half. Next up, lifetime stimulus checks, because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Now let's jump back into breaking news that impacts your wallet and why you have to get this stimulus left and right. The situation at hand is that the big week upon us will have more people trying to really figure out where this market's going, but it's only going one direction, downward. Markets have attempted to rally several times in recent weeks with no success, though the impressive reversal on Friday is an indication that a relief rally may be in the near term. True? Not true. Not true. This week, we had 2 days when the stock markets rallied up 1,600 points and then fell apart the next day. That's what you're going to see, because in a downward spiraling economy, things just don't always go straight down. They go down, then back up, then go down, and then go back up. We talked about this a lot earlier this year on the crypto channel, where people were trying to find a bottom as things were going down. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay away. You should be liquid. And liquid levels are now the highest levels of a generation. A new report says that they have never seen in corporate finance or portfolio management individuals and companies having so much in cash. Why? They watch this channel. Why? Because that's what you're supposed to be doing. Stocks are going to devalue, real estate's going to devalue, cars are going to devalue. You want to be fully cash, because whatever you have that's invested in stock at $10 is going to be $8, and then $7, $6. You're going to be losing your valuations. You don't want to do that. You want to be liquid. And that's why you want to get these incredible stimulus checks. That's how you increase your liquidity. And let's jump into those very first three checks right now. Those first three checks are checks A, B, and C. Check A, $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. How do you get this incredible check? Step one, you go into this video, you become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Join this channel. Welcome to the nearly 100 new members joining daily every 48 hours on this channel. And congratulations to Spelly, who got this incredible check A. When you become a member, you get that newsletter, and you go down to check A, you click the link and go right and apply. I do all the work for you. You don't have to be searching on the net for hundreds of different applications and figuring them out. I do all the work for you and put it together in a simple, concise newsletter. You go down to check A and apply. You're not done there yet. You're going to go get check B. It's $50,000 to $80,000. It's absolutely incredible. And here's an example of the importance of check B. One viewer named Frank Mancuso joined a particular month, and by the end of the month, he had thousands and thousands of dollars from this channel. 18 months of mortgage, 18 months of utilities, 18 months of high-speed internet. Another viewer out of Florida getting nearly $100,000, 80 chucks, by joining this channel. Now, let's make it very clear. When you join this channel, it just costs a few dollars, and you're spending a few dollars for membership and walking away with thousands of dollars. Where else do you see anything in the landscape of American finances where you can spend a few dollars and walk away potentially with thousands of dollars? That's what viewers are doing. Become a member today. You're not going to stop there yet. You're going to go get check C. Check C is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. You go down the membership newsletter, it says check C, and it tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. Now, make me two promises today. One, say the big second half as we go over more about these incredible checks. Number two, when you do check C, you reach out to all 12 places in the newsletter for check C. Because you're going to reach out to one, and they're going to say no, but you're also going to reach out to another one, they're going to say yes. Let's step back a second. Check B, most viewers are getting 18 months of 5 checks a month, their rent or mortgage, and then their utilities. 18 months at 5 checks a month, that's check B. In check C, the same thing, 18 months of 5 checks per month. The only difference with check C, you got 12 places to reach out to. Oh, yes. That's how you do it. And that's why you want to become a member. Look at the incredible success stories of viewers on this channel. Over the last 2 years, $50 million have been gotten by viewers of this channel by watching. You want $30,000 for rent? Go get check C. Look at these incredible success stories. We have two viewers who got 14 months of rent just a few days ago. Then when we turn to utilities, a longtime viewer, Lynn Glenn, in all the live chats, love it or doubt, she got 12 months of utilities. Another viewer got 12 months of utilities as well. That's just very recent. Mark, he got $6,500 for utilities, but his brother-in-law got $15,000. Here's Snap. That brother-in-law is getting $250,000 over 10 years. We have Deborah. Just last weekend, she walked away with $16,000 because she became a member of this channel. Combinations. Here's Nisi. She was at $23,000. She went to $50,000. Here's Mark. He's at $32,000. He went to $166,000. Imagine spending just a few dollars to become a member and walking away with $166,000 from a broadcast channel. That's really great news. Lorraine, she was at 105, now she's at 155. There you go, my friends. Those are checks A, B, and C. The first three of 300 checks of FSCs. In the big second half, we continue with these FSC checks. Stay with me. Then we turn over to inflation relief stimulus checks. Next up, we have those incredible lifetime stimulus checks. They're all in the big second half. But first, let's go over some more about this economy. Gasoline is getting a little bit confusing. The AAA national average of gasoline, the price of gasoline you pay at the pump, and the Brent crude prices. They're all three different prices of gasoline. And now they're sort of going in different directions. Confusing, very confusing. Let's take it back a notch. International price of Brent crude is perhaps the most important point and price point for gasoline. It's the international price. When OPEC Plus cut production of gasoline last week by 2 million barrels a day, it went up. But then it went down. Why did it go down? Really confusing, not particularly clear right at the moment. AAA national average. This is how much AAA looks at the map of gasoline from Texas to California, New York to New Jersey, and they put out a map of the average gasoline. Now, if the international price drops, does the AAA average drop? Not necessarily. So this is where it's getting really crazy today. International price of gasoline dropping after OPEC Plus cut production, which would normally raise the price. Then the AAA national average dropped, then rose. And then in some respective states, they never dropped at all, rose across the board. Last Tuesday, I was near the beach and saw I was low on gas. Ugh, not the place to fill up gas near the beach. What do you think the price of gasoline was when I went to fill up gasoline near the beach, near where some of the opening credits are in the show? What do you think they was? Jump in the live chat. I'll go over with that. I'll go over your answer in just a second. What's important to understand is that if gasoline goes higher in the United States, inflation goes higher. As inflation goes higher, Jay Powell will continue to raise rates, and the Federal Reserve will as well. And as Esther George, the Fed governor out of Cleveland, said on Thursday, the Federal Reserve has been raising rates all year long, interest rates, to reduce inflation, and they've gotten nowhere with this. Inflation is now at about 8.5%, and it was 8.5% early this year. I predicted it was going to be 8% last year, the only American broadcaster to do it. So this is very pervasive as a problem. That's why you want to follow those 3 steps as featured in that YouTube short on this channel. Remove your adjustable rate debt, because it's going to be much more expensive as Jay Powell raises rates. Increase your stimulus, and know where this economy is on a regular basis. Let's jump back in the live chat. If you said the price of gasoline that I paid at the pump in Los Angeles at the beach was $5, you got it wrong. It was nearly $8. Can you imagine? It was $7.20 for regular gasoline on a Tuesday night. Inflation, here we go. In the big second half, we're going to go over more about these incredible FSC checks. You need them because this gasoline situation you see is low as a big problem. Then we'll go into this inflation relief stimulus checks. Oh, we need those as well. Then I got brand new details on lifetime stimulus checks. Brand new 4 great news. You never heard more before on this channel about your SSI, SSDI, Social Security checks. Brand new great news you've never heard before. It's coming up in the big second half. See you back in 60 seconds.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now on a beautiful Mornings LA from the shores of Santa Monica, California, with a full house in the live chat. I see Ann and I see Bob and I see James. How are you? In this big second half, we're going to go over these incredible 4 stimulus checks with brand new breaking details about one of them. And then we jump over to those lifetime stimulus checks, and I have breaking news about that as well. Really exciting details, and it all starts right this moment. In those incredible checks that were passed by the President of the United States, we had checks A, B, and C. Well, you know what happened right after that. After the President of the United States did those first 3 checks, which amount to about $100,000 by executive action, then came along Congress for Purple Power. They passed checks E through K. And let's jump on those incredible checks right now, but I have a breaking news story with you for check E. Check E is that $7,500 check, and wow, what a shocker of a story. So a new report out today, I'm going to say this slowly because it's a little bit confusing, is that for check E, when you go to get that check E, you either qualify for all of it in that 1 year, or you qualify for part of it, but you cannot go get the remainder of it in a different year. Here's an example. Either you get the $7,500 completely in this respective year, or whatever you try to get it at, or you get a part of it. So let's say you get $5,000 of check E today. You can't get the remainder of the $2,500 of check E in a different year. So when you do check E, do it in a way in which you can get the most of check E, because that's your one shot. You can't do it a second time, and you can't get the remainder of it in another year. There you go. Then we have check F, which is $4,000. We have check G, 30% off. We have check H, $2,000. Wow, this is just incredible. Then we have check I, $8,000. We have check J, $8,000. And check K, $14,000. That's huge. Along the way, I found you other FSC checks, and which ones are these? Check L, $100,000 on average of loan interest-free money, and $4,000 of free grant money for you. That's check M. Check N, holiday season, about to buy some gifts for people. Well, why would you have to if you got stimulus and a brand new tablet? $100 towards a participating provider. Most tablets are less than $100. Also, a brand new computer, or a tablet less than $100, or desktop less than $100 for that, and also free internet. I love this stimulus, and just incredible. Then we have stimulus O, 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, and also no insurance and no credit check required. Stimulus P and Q, we have $8,000 of free grant money and 3% down. Just incredible. And there you go. Those, my friends, are your FSC checks. Checks A through Q. Let's recap, because there's a lot in there. First, these are from the federal government, Congress, the President of the United States, the people in Washington, D.C. They have nothing to do with your state. The federal government does everything for these. Number 2, biggest check, $100,000. Smallest check is $8,000. Number 3, fastest routing time. Johnny started on Monday. By Tuesday, he had $45,000. Incredible, Johnny. And then he continued by Friday. He got $85,000, 14 applications in, and 15 applications in and 7 approved. Yes, absolutely incredible. We got checks for all different walks of life. The home repairs, the appliances in the home, the car, the rent, the utility, the mortgage, assistance, the computer, the tablet. We got something for all different walks of life. And there you go. That is federal stimulus checks. Incredible. How do you do this? You go into this video, you become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Get that membership newsletter. Now listen carefully right here. It's delivered 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's Los Angeles time. So if you're in the Midwest, that's not 7 o'clock your time. That's 7 o'clock West Coast time, which is 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. And if you're on the East Coast, that's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Let me say it again. 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, my time. If you're in the Midwest, that's 9 o'clock your time. If you're on the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock your time. On the money. Exactly. There you go. Let's jump over to some inflation relief stimulus checks. You need those, and those are incredible. These are not from these people. These are actually from your state. Inflation relief stimulus checks. Number 1, on average about $1,000. Great. Number 2, direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Also really great. Number 3, all detailed in the membership newsletter. Go down to check D like donut. Click the link and it opens up a new page. You go down and find your respective state. And then it has a little bit about the amount of the check. Then it also tells you a website, a link to a website you can open up, run by your state, where you can track the check and learn about the check and everything about it. It is check D in the membership newsletter. Inflation relief stimulus checks, about $1,000. Congratulations. Next, lifetime stimulus checks. And breaking news on this one. You've never heard this before until today. Now that you know your benefits are going up, now that you know your benefits are going up 8.7%, do you know the other 4 great news stories about that raise of your benefits? You don't. And I'm going to explain them to you right now. There's 4 other great news stories about the raise of your benefits, and let's go over them right now. Number 1. This raise of your benefits, 8.7%, is on top of your existing raise from last year, which was 5.9%. So your benefits went up last year. Let's look at this like an elevator in a skyscraper. Your benefits went up last year about 6%. This raise of 8.7% is on top of that. So you're going up higher in the skyscraper. Number 2, Jay Powell's made it very clear there's going to be inflation next year. So next year, your benefits are going to get another lift, and that will be on top of that. The year after that, Jay Powell's also made clear there'll be inflation on top of that. So that means your benefits will go up even higher across the board. Yes, you're going to get last year's raise, this year's raise, the year after 2023, and the year after that, 2024. No one's really explained that to you at all. It's incredible, great news. Number 2. Your benefits are not going to be consumed anymore by medical bills. Congress over the summer passed an incredible piece of legislation so that Medicare Part B plans will be slashed dramatically and they will no longer consume the vast majority of your benefit raises. Next, the adding up of these raises progressively year after year is bringing you up to date with the cost of living, inflation. Why? Because 5.9% was really indicative of where inflation was last year, and 8.7% is very indicative of where inflation is right today. It's 8.5%. So that's exactly apple to apple for where your benefits are going. This is not like you're behind in the numbers, like you're not lined up. This is what we talked about a lot earlier this year, where I was worried that they would lock you into a lower inflation rate by the time they announce your benefits. No, you got very lucky. So you're getting inflation at 8.7%, which is exactly what inflation is right now. And by all indication, here's the last great news. Inflation is not going any higher. There's no indication inflation is going to 9 or 10%. So you are locked in beautifully. Now, next year, there will be other inflation. So you'll get another raise of your benefits. This is the last item of great news. You'll get another raise of your benefits even higher, even though inflation hasn't gone higher. Let's go over an example. You're getting a raise right now of 8.7%. Next year, inflation, let's say it's 4% or 2%. You'll get another raise. But When you go to buy the goods at the supermarket, the goods at the supermarket will not be going from 8.5% to 11%. No, you're going to keep on going up. That's how you're actually going to get ahead of the game because of this situation. It's incredible, great news, and no one really explains it to you. Finally, let's go over the calculation of how much your benefits are going up. You can do it the following way. Just envision it as an extra month of a check minus a little bit. Here's an example. Let's say your monthly check is $1,000. Well, take a little bit off of it, $900. That's how you do it. Because there's 12 months in a year, and all you have to do is say just an extra check minus a little bit. So if your benefits check is $1,000 a month, just think of it as a little bit less, extra month, an extra $900. Let's do another example. Let's say your monthly check is $500. An extra month minus a little bit, $350, $325, $370. That's so simple. That's how much you're going to get additionally this next year. You don't even have to go to the IRS stock website. You don't even have to open the membership newsletter. Or you don't even have to open the worksheets and run the numbers. You can just run this in your head. That's how I train you to do things very, very quickly. All right, with that, let's continue with the breaking news that's impacting your money across the board. One of the stories that's really hitting left and right is, of course, the pervasiveness of Wall Street to not embed the risk of more interest rate spikes from this guy, Jay Powell. And I do believe this is going to be a pervasive problem for a while. Let me explain what I need you to understand, because this is very important. Earnings recession and earnings season comes in this week. We have more companies reporting earnings. Is Wall Street going to be shocked sporadically? Yes, they'll be shocked sporadically. They'll see a company and there's going to be a miss and they're going to be shocked and they'll react to the news and they'll trade the stocks down that day. Is Wall Street shocked by Jay Powell? Is Wall Street moving based upon Jay Powell? They're not. My opinion of the situation is Wall Street does not embed the risk of all these interest rate spikes of Jay Powell the whole rest of this year, next year, and the year after that. I gotta tell you, I do not believe they've embedded the risks into the markets. And this is why you want to be liquid. You want to be liquid. A new report says that more Americans are liquid, more high net worth individuals and institutional investors like banks and corporations are liquid than ever before. Because you don't want to be buying a stock at $10 and then it's worth $8. And that's what's going to happen for 2 years. All those people that really made their living on crypto channels telling you to buy crypto, they're going to lose a shirt because there's going to be literally nothing to buy that's going to appreciate that much in a while, at least a year. And some of the analyst reports that came in and out this week were great. Josh Brown, he's a smart guy. I really like him. He said, who's getting excited? Who's getting excited with this? You shouldn't be. What's the rush? Why do you have to put out a whole position right now? Why do you have to call bottom now? He's talking about a bottom of the market. Who calls a bottom of the market last Tuesday? You got it wrong because the market went lower. The right approach is just adding exposure. Here came another comment from a very smart person, Greg Swanson. I think it's a mistake to get excited about this rally. I'll have another comment on Afternoons LA today. One analyst says, I expect another great rally happening. Great rally? No. You're going to see the stock market go up half a day, 1 day, a day and a half, sporadically all the rest of this year. I'm predicting you're going to see times in which things go up, but don't think that's the bottom. Let me show you an example. When a market goes down, when an economy goes down, it doesn't go straight down like my finger right now. It doesn't. It does things like this. It goes down and then it goes back up a little bit for a day, maybe 2 days, maybe a week. It could potentially go up for a month. And then it goes back down even more. Here's the problem, is that the people who betted on that pop up as we went down, there's a down and then we pop up, the people thought that was the bottom, they lose their shirt because guess what happens? We go lower and lower. And they thought this was the end of the equation. Come in and start buying. So this is what I want you to know. I don't want you to get excited when you see the stock market up. Don't want you to think you missed on anything. I don't want you to think there's a news cycle that happened. This last week, we saw this very indicative of why. There are times in which the market just rallied up on a particular day last week, 1,000 points at one point, when there was no news. No news. Stocks up 1,000 points when there was no news. The only news was that the CPI came in higher than expected. Inflation was more pervasive than ever. That makes sense? No, it does not make sense. The next day, the stock market crashed straight back down. That is why you stay far away from any type of euphoria that's unjustified. And that's why I stay here, because coming up at 11 a.m. is Holidays LA. And guess what? 3 o'clock afternoons LA today will be a brand new Holidays LA. And I know Bob and Ann and James and everyone that's on the live chat is going to be very excited. Who will make a holiday appearance on Holidays LA today at 3 o'clock? Oh, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very plush. I'll give you a hint on that one. I want you to become a member. Go right in this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Increase that stimulus. Decrease your debt. And stay with me, because the excitement continues at 11 a.m. as Holidays LA heats up. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.